This show furnished by Karl Gerber and Employment Lawyers Group.
You got to know when to hold.
Talk Radio 790 KABC. You're listening to the Karl Gerber Workplace Lawyer Show. I'm Karl Gerber. I'm a real workplace lawyer. And, well, this is a continuing saga on this program. And I don't know who's going to come in tonight. Wow! Molly Machete, the most non-neutral workplace investigator, just stormed in here like she's going to torture me.
I've got a tip that Myron Alfombra Pronounced Matting but spelled M&M is coming to town.
Wow, this is big news.
He's going to be doing a Shirtless Dreidel game somewhere in the greater Los Angeles area.
I suppose we could scour our sources for leads on all the high-stakes, shirtless dreidel games that might go down in town.
We can't just walk in there and capture that impeached person's hairdresser.
We can capture him, but we'll still have to convict him in some conservative venue where they hate employees.
Not if we capture him within city limits.
I suppose we should contact the soldier. We're going to have to go about this like a military operation.
We better be careful. It could be treason. We could be labeled traitors.
We wouldn't want that as much as he seems like a decent guy. I don't want to be locked up with that Adam Schiff guy.
The two of you will be celebrating the rest of Hanukkah spinning dreidels made out of soap.
I wonder if they have shirtless dreidel games in jail.
At attention, Sir Gerber. Directorate Molly Machete, former Major Machete.
We were just talking about you, Sergeant Captain Friday.
Hopefully you weren't talking about my lack of endowment, sir.
Is that helping that woman quinoa from last week who had the orgasm disorder?
Oh, very much, Directorate. Major Machete, she's down to only 30 orgasms a day. It always happens when I'm out of teaching the defensive butt mechanism to the women on Los Angeles.
Good work, soldier.
Look, we've got to tip Myron Alfombra, pronounced Matting, but spelled M&M, is going to be in town for some high-stakes, shirtless dreidel game.
Oh, sir, if I may, those kind of games aren't listed in the sports section.
No, they aren't.
How high stakes are we talking?
That's the thing, soldier. I'm afraid Myron Alfombra Pronounced Matting but spelled M&M will be gambling your genital.
And that will be Gimmel for me.
You want his genital?
No, not for myself or anything. I'd just like to return it to its rightful owner.
His duty as a United States attorney, ma'am.
Yes, my duty.
Mr. Gerber, I certainly hope you won't be so careless as to gamble on the factual role of Gimmel.
Well, it's going to have to be a dirty game.
Of course it's going to be a dirty game, Gerber. You're playing for somebody's genital.
Oh, not for my use. Just to return it to its rightful owner.
I hear genital talk. Come here, maybe help.
Oh, thanks for offering the support, Nazuki. We've got to figure an angle on this.
According to my sources, these high-stakes dreidel games involve large quantities of banned vaping products, women, and sometimes body parts acquired from the dark web, or in this case, from an evil bait-and-switch scheme.
Well, I don't need big dollars to get into this game.
I no be so sure. Might be cashier check entry fee. One-time shirtless game happened in Lucky 7 Tarzana.
Now that's an angle.
Genital big enough for angle? Very good. Rhemus Helms do angle.
Ma'am Nazuki, I had half a Rhemus Helms.
That's what Gerber gamble for.
Oh, look, the only gambling for me is taking employment cases on a contingency basis. That's all the high stakes I can handle.
I handle big endowment when young Nuru Nurse. Still big endowment. Just Rhemus Helms. He my man. Mr. Gerber, since you take those big wage and hour class actions and advance tens of thousands in case costs, maybe $1 million in attorney time, I think you can handle a high-stakes shirtless dreidel game. Many concern he take shirt off. He look good. He have tattoo. Myron Alfombra Pronounced Matting spell M&M know it, Gerber.
He's gonna have to go in incognito.
We gotta find a game first.
How good you at dreidel if no gamble?
I hate to bring up the idea, but the person we know who wastes the most on gambling is Dombass. I wouldn't want to involve him, but maybe he'd give us some ideas.
Sort of like when you infiltrated the whorehouse on episode 87 just to find out if the soldier's genital was really there.
Mr. Gerber has done a wonderful thing for my genital.
No say that. Fake Nazuki Clinic Lucky 7 Glendale do wonderful things for your thing too, soldier.
Oh, yeah, but only temporary relief, ma'am.
I get Dombass here.
What this about wanting in on a high-stakes dreidel game?
Dombass, he wouldn't happen to have any leads on any high-stakes shirtless dreidel games, would you?
I've heard things.
Like what?
Something's gonna go down over at that pho Chinese restaurant over in Torrance.
That wouldn't happen to be Myron Alfombra Pronounced Matting, but spelled M&M's front for feeding liberals ever-growing lo mein noodles that are actually nylon, now would it?
Even I know it is. What kind of intelligence are you, lady?
Her specialty is waterboarding, sir, Dombass.
We waterboard Myron Alfombra Pronounced Matting, but spell M&M. He go lucky 7. We trap and shower. Much steam. We hold hostage until he stop make ever-growing Bubba toupee actually nylon.
Now that's an idea.
Does that little scheme involve Nuru nurses?
Oh, yeah, I can see it through the tin painter's plastic now.
Dombass, where did you get this lead?
I was over at my bookie's house. He was sitting on his couch watching the big screen TV with all them split screens of all the games. He's got money. He's got one of them bowls of crispy Chinese noodles. He's putting them in his mouth, talking out the chewed ones, and he tells me he might be playing in the Shirtless Dreidel game. He's looking for sponsors.
Oh, gosh, I've been looking for sponsors for a year now. If we don't get someone to sponsor the show before the end of April, it might go off the air, and I bet a lot of people will be happy about that.
Who cares? 90,000 people listen internet every month.
Actually, close to 100,000.
Dombass's bookie has a line in on Myron Alfombra Pronounced Matting, but spelled M&M.
I don't know. The way these shirtless dreidel games go, it's more like a holiday pop-up store where they sell sardines and about to be 7-year-olds calendars.
Exactly.
What if Nazuki goes and sends a tip via Dombass that she'd like to host a shirtless dreidel game?
Oh, boy, I could open the door from my desk in the parking lot and see the game if it's going on in the VIP room. The girls live in that. Used to be in my office.
I think Dombass playing game.
Oh, no, I couldn't bear to see Dombass without a shirt.
You know once see Myron Alfombra Pronounced Matting, but spell M&M no shirt. I see. Very bad. Stop woman orgasm disorder 6 months.
I'd sit this game out if the stakes weren't so high.
Sir, yes, sir. What could be higher than winning my genital back?
I think I'll assume a persona worthy of the game is depraved at this little high-stakes shirtless dreidel tournament.
That's neat, Gerber. You're gonna pretend you're me?
Even more depraved. Do you believe I could pull off that disgraced Congressman Hunter, Duncan Hunter?
I do believe they'd open up the game for him. But what's he gonna bet now that they got his campaign funds? That easy. I think he bets Slovenia woman.
You've got one of them laying around, Nazuki. I ain't never seen none of her at the Lucky 7 Tarzana.
We kidnap. We get one.
I took an oath to obey the laws of California and the United States. I can't be condoning any kidnapping, even if this is to bring down the evil access. Call me. Normal business hours. 877-525-0700 for a real workplace lawyer to bring down your employer. 877-525-0700 if you got laid off right before Christmas. 877-525-0700. wonder if you need some funds to get in a high-stakes dreidel game and your employer did you wrong. This is the Karl Gerber Workplace Lawyer Show on Talk Radio 790 KABC, and we'll be back in just a minute to find out more about this evil game.
I made it out of clay. And when it's dry and ready, I shall play.
When you're diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer,
A lot of questions run through your mind.
What am I going to do?
what are my options?
What did I do wrong?
We've had those thoughts too.
But some questions can help you move forward.
Visit findyourmbcvoice.com for an interactive guide to help you learn the next steps to take after an MBC diagnosis.
And how to ask the questions that lead to an open and informed conversation with your doctor.
Start finding your voice today
at findyourmbcvoice.com.
If you are behind on your bills, then this message is for you. How would you like to have a large portion of your credit card debt or medical bills forgiven? National Credit Card Relief would like to give you free information on a proven debt forgiveness program. It's not bankruptcy. It's not consolidation. This special program actually wipes clean the portion of your debt that is forgiven. Call for your free forgiveness information now. 800-291-6670. That's 800-291-6670. Don't wait. Call 800-291-6670. Not available in North Dakota.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson paid for by the Sentinel Group. Attention military vets and current soldiers who served between 2002 to 2016. Have you or a loved one suffered hearing loss or tinnitus after serving or while serving in the U.S. Armed Forces? You may be entitled to compensation. 3M, the manufacturer of earplugs made for combat, recently paid the government $9.1 million to settle a False Claims Act case for knowingly selling these defective earplugs. If you or a loved one suffered hearing loss due to defective earplugs, call us now for a free case review. Call 800-590-4514. That's 800-590-4514.
I really thought I would die of stress long before the cancer, because the diagnosis brought this avalanche of worries. The money, the travel, the burden on the family. One night I called the American Cancer Society, and they helped me map out a plan. Got me free rides to chemo and even a free place to stay during treatment. They took away those other fears, so I could rest up for the real fight.
Please give at cancer.org.
The beacon of common sense. AM 790 KABC.
You got Talk Radio 790 KABC. This is the Karl Gerber Workplace Lawyer Show, and I'm Karl Gerber, a real workplace lawyer. And before we broke, we had Myron Alfombra, pronounced Matting, but spelled Eminem, a tip that he's going to have be in a high-stakes dreidel game. And, I'm going to have to get in on that game, and I'm not going to be me. I'm going to be a disgraced congressman.
Hey, what's that impeach guy gonna do if he ain't got no hairdressing no more? I know he's gonna have to get a ever-growing Berber toupee that's actually nylon.
Well, there may be other participants in this game betting women. They're essentially selling into Slovenian servitude, but we aren't gonna have that kind of bait.
Bait? We can bring quinoa. She'll probably have a couple if I'm not around.
First things first, we've got to switch the venue of the Shirtless Dreidel game to the Lucky 7 Tarzana. Then we'll make it so slippery that Myron Alfombra Pronounced Matting, but spelled Eminem, will lose his grip on the soldier's genital.
Oh, sir, no, sir. It'll be in a brown paper bag. He won't touch it.
Maybe in bowling bag like when go to Angel's Whole House Redondo Beach 2 episodes ago.
A strange thought just came over me. Why do you think Myron Alfombra, pronounced Matting, but spelled Eminem, had that thing over at the whorehouse?
No, sir, no, sir.
Do you think he planned to use it? Myron Alfombra pronounced Matting, but spelled Eminem need. Maybe he used. He very small.
I hope he didn't infect my part. I don't want to come down with some VD when I get it back.
Now, this is really unsavory.
Mr. Gerber, we're talking about Myron Alfombra pronounced Matting but spelled Eminem. There's nothing savory about him.
Oh, you're right. Let's see if Nazuki can make some kind of contact and get a change of venue for the game.
Nazuki's makes contact all day. She just says she doesn't do that anymore except with Rhemus Helms. I seen it myself, going to the kitchen to get my lunch.
Heavens! Dumas is taking his shirt off. Should I?
I think we need to give Gerber a little practice while we're killing time.
Well, to tell you the truth, I've never played Shirtless Dreidel before.
You haven't?
That's a noon for you, Dumas.
Oh, gee, I get the whole pot of refreshments from the kitchen.
Noon means nothing.
This ain't no fair. I don't read none of that Hebrew. In the neighborhood I grew up in, Brooklyn, it was all them Italian kids I hung out with.
Dumas, we've been through this. I don't think you grew up in New York.
It has been confirmed that he worked for Myron Alfombra Pronounced Matting, but spelled M&M, when he was just Myron, the man who sold carpets for the head and the townhome floor.
Well, yes, I do believe the first mention of that concept came in Dumas's first appearance all the way back on episode 18 of this show, which can be found at the Karl Gerber with a K channel on YouTube.
It all set. Game happen tomorrow. Lucky 7 Tarzana.
Tomorrow? I thought you were hosting the Golden Massage Oil Shower Awards. I was kind of looking forward to it.
Oh, Dumas, right. All Nuru nurses all over world coming. No like quinoa. Maybe one time if client good. They come see if get award. Sinister Hand Award, big one. Slip and slide even bigger. IMC.
Well, this is disaster.
Not necessarily. The chaos from all the dripping Nuru massage oil will be a distraction.
How's Gerber gonna concentrate on the game?
Remember, it's Duncan Hunter. I'll just be thinking about going to jail.
Sir, if I may, think about winning back the Republican Party after all these witch hunts.
Don't make me any more nauseous than I already am.
No, think about what in bag. Pretend they're popcorn in bag.
Nazuki, how's he gonna do that? It's a stolen genital. You don't see those running around in brown paper bags every day.
I see lots of genital every day, all different kind.
Women get Nuru massages too. Could I see that happen through the thin painter's plastic separating your walls?
Well, the bigger problem is I'm gonna have to do some sort of cosmetic makeover to look like Duncan Hunter.
You go Tiny Salon, Santa Monica Boulevard, episode 57, workplacelawyer.org have all episodes. European hairdresser make Gerber hair look toupee.
Yeah, that's a great idea. She can sew some Berber in there and maybe it would look like something that grows.
That sounds hot.
Yeah, all those guys wearing year-end models now. Silver and gold to bring in the new year.
I meant wearing a Berber toupee will be hot.
Game be in parking lot, cold night. Maybe warm massage oil help.
Well, when's this rip-roaring Shirtless Dreidel game gonna be?
Tomorrow night, 12 a.m. Parking lot Lucky 7. You be there or you small genital. Dumas, you think you move your desk?
Then how am I gonna watch the game? I've never seen nobody gambling genitals before.
Dumas, I think there's only one.
Many inside, only one in parking lot.
I better get out of here and make time. I have no idea how I'm gonna look like Duncan Hunter by tomorrow night at midnight.
No, game tonight, midnight.
Oh, yes. 11:35 p.m. I arrived in the back parking lot of the Lucky 7 Tarzana. It was a depraved scene. There was a circular formation of garbage cans burning bonfires inside. Something toxic and irreversible was being emitted by the fires. Middle-aged and older men were rubbing their hands together before they rolled off on the dreidels in their warm-up session. I brought a pair of fingerless gloves, good for my grip. Put them on as I watched a crowd drink hard liquor from brown paper bags. A different-looking brown paper bag sat to the right of garbage can number 2. I was pretty sure Bernie Madoff was behind garbage can number 1. I was told Bernie Sanders was denied access on account of not having enough dough to enter the games. Myron Alfombra Pronounced Matting, but spelled M&M, was at garbage can number 2. He was spinning dreidels from strands of ever-growing Berber that is really nylon.
The strand of ever-growing Berber that is actually nylon has been spun today on a dreidel. Tomorrow night, it will be growing and growing and growing inside the stomach of a liberal until the miscreant's stomach explodes.
I saw dirtied, much-worn brown paper bag sitting next to Myron Alfombra Pronounced Matting, but spelled M&M. I brought only 5,000 with me. It didn't exactly qualify for this high roller game. But when I explained it was stolen campaign money, I was ushered in next to Myron Alfombra Pronounced Matting, but spelled M&M, behind garbage can number 3. The goods were within reaching distance to my right. It was a chilly night to be shirtless. Wait, I was shirtless. But besides Dombass, who was sitting at his desk in the parking lot, no one else was.
If they've got a widow's peak, all you've got to do is tampoon the ever-growing Berber that is actually nylon in straight lines where the bangs would be. It's a green line to pay.
The Golden Massage Oil Awards were rocking the house inside the Lucky 7. Every minute or two, I heard rocks going off. The Nuru nurses from other clinics around the world were stripping in the front parking lot.
No strip in front. They bad for business.
What if some of the girls came back here and stripped? I used to have a friend that taught Nuru massage and dance in his New York City apartment. He was hung by a strand of ever-growing Berber that is actually nylon that got bigger and bigger and bigger, all before he could be subpoenaed to Congress. We could pretend it's a massage school back here. They'd give us Nuru massages while we're rolling off for body parts.
And illegally stolen campaign funds.
And my cease and desist letters from the state bar. Come on back and work for me, Tomas. Queen's Carpet has expanded since you left. You'll get a desk inside and on the showroom floor. Nah, I'm doing pretty good for myself, taking advantage of the clients. Hey, check this out.
I was in a diabolical, shirtless dreidel game with Myron Alfombra Pronounced Matting, but spelled M&M. I had finally encountered him, and we had a plot to get back the soldier's genital that was in a brown paper bag, just to my right. I'm not going to let you know what happens because we're going to be back in a minute, but you can call my office for a real employment case. If someone's done something wrong to you at work at 877-525-0700, we're open this week. We don't shut down just because they're holidays. 877-525-0700 for the original employment lawyer of Los Angeles. That's me. I go back to when I was the only person in the phone book doing plaintiff's employment law. 877-525-0700 for the employment lawyer who will make the other side's witnesses sound as loony as the guests on this show in just a couple minutes. This is the Karl Gerber Workplace Lawyer Show on Talk Radio 790 KABC. We'll be back for more Shirtless Dreidel in a minute.
I made it out of clay. And when it's dry and ready, Dreidel, I shall play.
Since 1993, the Employment Lawyers Group has been a consistent force in fighting for the rights of California employees. They've represented thousands of employees in cases in which they've lost their jobs, been sexually harassed, discriminated against at work, or owed wages individually or as a group such as a class action. The Employment Lawyers Group has maintained a high win rate and a serious record before the California courts. Please call 877-525-0700 for an experienced work lawyer. That's 877-525-0700. They have call takers standing by. Online, research the firm at worklawyerca.com. They have offices throughout Southern California. If you hire the Employment Lawyers Group, your legal problem becomes theirs to solve.
AM790
KABC.
Talk Radio 790 KABC News Update. I'm Steve Cumming. Joe Biden is seeking to clarify his statement that if the Senate subpoenas him to testify in President Trump's impeachment trial, he will defy the order. But he's still not made it clear what he would do. On the campaign trail in Iowa today, Biden says the reason the House and Senate are in the positions they're in is because of the actions of one man, President Trump.
I want to make it clear, I think that this president has basically indicted himself by acknowledging that he's asked for help from foreign countries as well as engaging in doing everything he could to prevent the Congress from doing his job.
More than 250,000 people are calling for the New Year's Eve fireworks in Sydney, Australia to be cancelled, and for that money to go to fighting wildfires burning across the country. Sydney's mayor says the fireworks will go on as planned. KABC SoCal weather mostly clear this evening and tonight with lows in the lower to mid-40s. More news coming up in 30 minutes, continuing coverage at KABC.com. I'm Steve Cumming, Talk Radio 790 KABC News.
Wendy's has been showing everyone how to do fast food right for 50 years. And now they're showing them how 2-for-5s are done with Wendy's 2-for-5. It's the only one where you can get Wendy's fresh, never frozen beef and that Wendy's spicy chicken you crave. Pick 2 for $5. Choose between the juicy Dave Single, the tasty spicy chicken sandwich, 10-piece crispy, or spicy nuggets. Come in today and taste how a real 2-for-5 is done. Only at Wendy's. Fresh beef available in the contiguous U.S., Alaska, and Canada. Price and participation may vary for a limited time only.
I really thought I would die of stress long before the cancer, because the diagnosis brought this avalanche of worries. The money, the travel, the burden on the family. One night I called the American Cancer Society, and they helped me map out a plan. Got me free rides to chemo and even a free place to stay during treatment. They took away those other fears, so I could rest up for the real fight.
Please give at cancer.org.
When you're diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer,
a lot of questions run through your mind.
What am I going to do?
What are my options?
What did I do wrong?
We've had those thoughts too.
But some questions can help you move forward.
Visit findyourmbcvoice.com for an interactive guide to help you learn the next steps to take after an MBC diagnosis.
And how to ask the questions that lead to an open and informed conversation with your doctor.
Start finding your voice today
at findyourmbcvoice.com.
If you are behind on your bills, then this message is for you. How would you like to have a large portion of your credit card debt or medical bills forgiven? National Credit Card Relief would like to give you free information on a proven debt forgiveness program. It's not bankruptcy. It's not consolidation. This special program actually wipes clean the portion of your debt that is forgiven. Call for your free forgiveness information now. 800-291-6670. That's 800-291-6670. Don't wait. Call 800-291-6670. Not available in North Dakota.
Clear thinking. Free discussion. AM 790 KABC.
You got to know when to hold.
Talk Radio 790 KABC. This is the Karl Gerber Workplace Lawyer Show. I'm Karl Gerber. I'm a real workplace lawyer. I'm presently dressed up like Duncan Hunter because I'm in a diabolical shirtless dreidel game with Myron Alfombra Pronounced Matting, but spelled M&M. We proceeded to examine the cease and desist letter that Dombass had. It told Dombass to cease and desist from practicing law for 30 days. I guess the state bar caught up with him after he represented both spouses in a same-sex marriage and charged them 60 to 80% of their assets for handling their non-disputed divorce.
I'm proud of you, Dombass. You've come a long way.
You took advantage of those clients. And I've still got 50,000 of their money tucked away right here in the seams of their office chair. Oh, wow. Why don't you pull up a yoga mat and sit there by garbage can number 4? It ain't the kind of money we usually start out with at a high rollers game like this, but that's some pretty ill-gotten gain.
The stench of cheap cigars and shopping cart hot dogs was on one end of me, and the evil access was on the other. Myron Alfombra Pronounced Matting, but spelled M&M, handed me a regulation dreidel. Suddenly, Myron Alfombra Pronounced Matting, but spelled M&M, turned to me. I thought he detected the fact I wasn't really wearing a toupee.
Hey, girly man. Ain't you ever been to a Shirtless Dreidel game before?
I've been to tons in San Diego when I used to represent the 50th Congressional District.
Yeah, maybe they do things differently down there, but we don't take off our shirts until we lose.
That's the difference between a West Coast Shirtless Dreidel game and an East Coast Shirtless Dreidel game, I mistakenly claimed.
Who are you anyway? I've been touring the West Coast circuit since '82. I ain't never heard of that.
Madoff and several other thieves agreed with Myron Alfombra Pronounced Matting, but spelled M&M.
It's true sometimes I hear it's just those sauna games that start out shirtless.
Nazuki had just come outside with several Nuru nurses walking behind her. I think one was a Hare Krishna. Yeah, he's right. But I wouldn't know because I've only done the dreidel games in saunas. If you haven't done those games before, they aren't shirtless because of that. It's what they do to you inside the sauna.
Slip slidey away, slip slidey away. You know, the nearer your destination, the more you slip slidey away.
I tell the evil man, that's what makes the sauna game so difficult.
Do you know of any sauna games going on tonight?
That's gonna be the second level to this game.
I bring bimbo when dreidel. You use during slip slide game.
Okay, we can use the pinball when dreidels later. But for this phase of the 4-plug trim, we're using the regulation dreidels.
Those toxic fumes were getting to me. Of course, but we'll have to see who can hold out on the slip and slide round. I could lose this round and win the slip and slide round. I don't think I'm going to win with the slip and slide round. Would it be cheating if I went into the Lucky 7, maybe used my old office in the VIP room now? Once you're seated by the garage, you can't get up. Those are the rules.
I've got one of those buckets I used to use at Guantanamo Bay. Is that enough to get me into this game?
She can't play. She'll win on the slip and slide round.
Yeah, that might be a problem.
We use male Nuru Nurse.
She can't play this round because we ain't got 10 men.
Oh, actually, he's right. This isn't a minion yet.
Yeah. Yeah, huh?
Shut up, Dombass.
Bernie Madoff was getting impatient. He had to get back to federal prison by 2 a.m.
Hey, Bernie, you've got to do that relaxing thing. You should have got a Nuru massage before you came here. Oh, I forgot they ain't got none of that stuff in the pokey.
Pokey time, pokey time.
Pokey time? Pokey time? What is she talking about? Pokey time? Oh, my God, Nazuki is... Oh, I don't know what's going to happen now. Oh, no. Nazuki? Oh, God. No. A swarm of Nuru nurses surrounded us. They were trying to lunge at our laps. With all the chaos, I was sure I could get a hold of the brown paper bag Myron Alfombra Pronounced Matting but spelled M&M planned to use as the initial pot of guilt.
No pokey. That's for round 2. Right, Duncan Hunter?
Oh, that's the rules. Pokey, wait.
Indian style. Everybody sit now, Indian style.
Well, that's sort of discriminatory. I wonder if they can still call it that.
Who are you anyway? Some liberal girly man?
Hell no! I represented the 50th Congressional District until they put out a witch hunt for me! They got all mixed up! The same witch finders that were messing with your 3-plug trim client, they used them on me! I had to admit I paid $125 of my Republican campaign funds for my pet's plane ride.
260 surf shop. Silly man thought sex wax for Nuru massage.
Even I know that's for them surfboards.
There's no such thing as global warming. Before I perfected ever-growing Berber that is actually nylon, my factories worked overtime producing layers of toxic polyester resin. They've still got blue skies in waterfront New Jersey, and the sea ain't rising.
It was time to buzz off to determine who would go first.
1,
2,
3.
It was 7, and it was Dumas's turn.
7.
Everybody started to attack Dumas with the rubber hose.
Hey, what's going on?
Don't you know anything? It was a round of Indian-style buzz to determine who'd go first. You just lost the first round saying 7.
Yeah, I never was any good at counting.
Its increments of 7 are uttering a...
He can't even say that number.
After rounds and rounds of Indian-style buzz, it was determined Bernie Madoff would go first. Alfombra was second. I was third. I was supposed to be a convicted Republican Congressman from California, where there aren't hardly any Republicans left. I couldn't be too smart.
Hey, Hunter, I hear you spent $6.25 for the airplane ride of a pet rabbit.
It's all fake news. Some say $125. Others say $625. I tell you, it never happened. It's just the mainstream media that's against us. It came time for Myron Alfombra, pronounced Matting, but spelled M&M, to divvy up his initial ante.
Yeah, I'm putting this contest of brown paper bag in the middle of the pot. I mean the contents. Sorry, it's all I'm playing with.
You playing with that? It's not even yours.
If that's all you've got, Alfombra et.al., that means you only have one roll.
I don't think so. I make the rules. What I've got here is 10 times more than what any of you have.
He thinks he's above the law.
I put Cindy the sex robot in game. Things stuck in it.
Everybody gasped. I had no idea where Nazuki got it from.
Hey, wait a minute. If that's the soldiers, then what's in that bag Myron Alfombra pronounced Matting but spelled M&M's got?
The body part of a security head who failed me. He got stuck. A minor sexual injury turned into a major sexual injury. He sought temporary relief at a trend name infringing clinic called the Lucky 7 Glendale. His symptoms did not improve. An apparent embalmer tried to help and literally ruined it. A certain Dr. Goldman tried to make a repair in a children's hospital where he had privileges. I got in between the studs in the walls and...
Evil bait and switch.
You know what, Myron Alfombra, pronounced Matting but spelled M&M? I think we're going to have to see what's in that bag to verify things on account of seeing that every body part that's stuck in that robot that Nazuki just happened to produce is here.
Nobody doubts Myron Alfombra pronounced Matting but spelled M&M. He doesn't trust anybody else with the secret of his golden atrocity of hair.
Myron, I mean, you used to just go by Myron before you put on the airs. I'm putting up all my ill-gotten gain into this game. How do we know you ain't just got a half-eaten pickle in that bag?
Alfombra, let each of us briefly peek into the bag. it did seem to be the real McCoy. It was Dombass's turn to peek.
I ain't looking at another man's thing.
You're the one who started this.
I beg to differ. It was your evil idea to steal the genital of your employee because you were dissatisfied with his services. I don't mean services with that security services.
Well, look inside in the bag before I shove it in your face, Dombass.
I see many, Dombass. Maybe 1 billion. You look, pretended pickle.
How am I ever gonna be able to eat another pickle?
Hey, man, if people are doing stuff like this to you at work, you should give me a call. 877-525-0700. It's outrageous. 877-525-0700 to get back at your outrageous employer. 877-525-0700 to call me if you want to bring down Myron Alfombra Pronounced Matting, but spelled M&M.
Shall play. Since 1993, the Employment Lawyers Group has been a results-oriented law firm whose goal is to get the client what they deserve. They've represented thousands of California employees who've lost their jobs, been sexually harassed, subjected to employment discrimination, or were owed wages on an individualized or group basis, such as a class action. They have a high rate of success. There are few situations involving employment law that they have not confronted. At the forefront of employee rights, they're often the first employee law firm to confront a new legal issue. For an experienced employment lawyer, call 877-525-0700. That's 877-525-0700. They have call takers standing by. Online, read more about the firm at employeelawca.com. They have offices throughout Southern California. Make your work problem theirs to solve.
Wendy's has been showing everyone how to do fast food right for 50 years. And now they're showing them how 2 for $5s are done with Wendy's 2 for $5. It's the only one where you can get Wendy's fresh, never frozen beef and that Wendy's spicy chicken you crave. Pick 2 for $5. Choose between the juicy Dave Single, the tasty spicy chicken sandwich, 10-piece crispy, or spicy nuggets. Come in today and taste how a real 2 for $5 is done. Only at Wendy's. Fresh beef available in the contiguous U.S., Alaska, and Canada. Price and participation may vary for a limited time only.
I really thought I would die of stress long before the cancer, because the diagnosis brought this avalanche of worries. The money, the travel, the burden on the family. One night I called the American Cancer Society, and they helped me map out a plan. Got me free rides to chemo and even a free place to stay during treatment. They took away those other fears, so I could rest up for the real fight.
Please give at cancer.org.
Start your new year right. Beginning at 6 a.m. New Year's Day, get to know the newest voices on KABC with an Armstrong and Getty Marathon from 6 to 3.
This is a good way to start your year. Armstrong and Getty, the conscience of the nation. How pretentious.
Then, Ben Shapiro caps off your night from 3 to midnight.
Start the new year right. It's a Ben Shapiro Marathon, New Year's Day from 3 p.m. to midnight.
That sounds awesome.
It's an Armstrong and Getty and Shapiro New Year's Day Marathon on AM790 KABC. Get Smashmouth Conservative Talk. Afternoons 3 to 6 with Ben Shapiro on AM790 KABC. Your home for Trojans football.
Fight on!
AM790 KABC makes you feel at home. And now you can listen to us on your Google Home. Just say,
"Hey Google, play KABC."
Sure, here's AM790 KABC.
You got to know when to hold.
Talk Radio 790 KABC. This is the Karl Gerber Workplace Lawyer Show, and it's not every night that you're in a Shirtless Dreidel game trying to gamble for someone's genital and get it back to him, but that's where I was. Yes, Bernie Madoff was becoming quite antsy. He had to be back in federal prison in an hour and a half, and the high-stakes Dreidel game had not even started. Dombass looked in the brown paper bag and shrieked, "Eee!"
That's a penis fish.
No sushi called that.
They're 10-inch long.
No, Rhemus Helms more.
They're 10-inch long worms. The LA Times recently ran an article about
miles of penis fish wash up California beach.
The left coast? Fake news. I don't even know why I come here. And over here, they've got high-stakes shirtless games from the very start.
You no make fun, Nazuki, world famous Nuru Nurse. Me and my girls do slip and slide, no laugh matter.
Yeah, Myron Alfombra Pronounced Matting, but spelled Eminem. When's the last time that you had a Nuru massage over at the Lucky Tarzana 7 anyway?
Oh, God. I heard what happened when my best client came in for a Nuru massage. He contracted something from Ayazuki.
That problem. She do slip slide tonight.
That might be a problem.
She all better now. She get health insurance.
Now, why would anybody want to get health insurance? The next thing will be Nazuki tells us she's making employer contributions to some California-imposed mandatory health insurance plan.
Sorry, Myron Alfombra Pronounced Matting, but spell Eminem. Too much writing. Writing on Nuru massage app. Girl hard find. No risk girl out work. VD.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to slip and slide with an infected Nuru Nurse.
Enough talk. We spin.
Hey, you can't spin your dreidel by a strand of ever-growing Berber that's actually nylon.
Why you complain? You roll Gimmel.
Nazuki was right, and Alfombra rolled a noon.
Hey, this sort of confusing. I ain't Jewish or nothing, but I learned how to play in Brooklyn when I was growing up, and I thought only one person rolls at once.
Retake! Boys get excited. Think round 2, maybe Dombass last after all.
Let's redo this already.
The different... No, it's not. No more of that. The different dreidels landed on top of all sorts of Hebrew letters. At first, I had the whole pile. Then I had half the pile. But if it wasn't a pile with the soldier's genital in the bag that I got.
Oh, boy, this has been some quick fingering. I don't know if I can go another round.
The first rounds ended, and Bernie Madoff had the pile with the genital. It was 1:45 a.m.
Wait, what are we gonna do? He's gotta leave in 15 minutes, and we still got the sauna room.
Well, I could see the bribed federal marshal approaching Bernie Madoff, who was yelling he still had 15 minutes to get back to federal prison. In his right hand was the brown lunch bag.
If bag go federal prison, never see again. Many perverted inmate. Bernie cell, get lots cigarettes.
Yeah, I'd sort of hate to see such an evil prize get lofted in some federal bureaucracy.
Many genital lost federal prison. Sometimes good deal when released.
Hey, Nazuki, I ain't exactly following this.
It was then that I saw the federal marshal exchange Bernie Madoff for Phil Specter.
Oh, I know that guy. He knew my aunt. He was born in the Bronx.
Hey, look. Bernie Madoff just exchanged the brown paper bag with the soldier's genital for some gun Phil Specter gave him.
What's that gun? Is that the one that blew that woman's head off?
No, I related search term Yoko Ono. Both of our fathers were Japanese businessmen living in the United Kingdom. That gun Phil Specter gave Bernie held John Lennon head. Fire his ear.
This ain't a game of memorabilia gambling. We're gambling with instruments of evil.
We could see Phil Specter running as fast as he could in his high-heel boots. He was trying to retrieve the genital, but it was too late. The federal marshal had already closed the doors to the federal police car.
What are we going to do now?
We aren't going to let that Phil Specter play. He can go play with himself.
No, at least invite man in clinic.
Wow, it's time for round 2. How come Phil Specter's gotta start with round 2?
For reasons unknown, the federal marshal's car was returning. He got out of the car and asked, Are we in Tarzana or Reseda?
Lucky 7 Tarzana. Everybody know Tarzana.
Actually, I think this is Reseda.
No, it's Tarzana.
My GPS is saying we're in Reseda.
Come on, Marshall. Can't you figure this out? Nazuki claims it's only the parking lot that's Reseda.
It's saying the front of the place is Reseda, too.
Don't you know how to navigate without a GPS?
I'm afraid not.
Hey, Bernie Madoff is getting out. He's got the bag.
Time for slip and slide.
It was the most amazing thing I'd ever seen. All of the idiots in that high-stakes dreidel game were running into the clinic for the slip and slide game. Bernie Madoff was standing in the parking lot holding the genital bag and looking confused.
You too, federal police. Slip and slide Lucky 7 Tarzana free now.
Isn't there a curfew here?
Invite higher officer too.
The federal marshal walked slowly towards the Lucky 7, and then he was in. Where? I don't know, and I don't want to know. I was standing in the parking lot shirtless, looking at Bernie Madoff holding the bag. He was a confused old man. I walked over to Bernie Madoff and told him he had my lunch. He yelled at me and said it was his lunch. I told him it might be, but I had pastrami sandwiches from Katz Deli and Dombass's desk in the parking lot. Madoff surrendered the paper bag. It fell on the asphalt. I wasn't going to pick it up. The bag contained an every man's genital. I wasn't homophobic, but the whole thing just seemed too weird for me. I stood there shirtless as noises as ecstasy came out of the Lucky 7 Tarzana. Dombass finished quickly and went out of his desk in the parking lot.
Hey, Bernie, I've still got 41,114 worth of ill-gotten gain. You know anywhere I could invest?
Madoff pointed to the brown bag I refused to pick up. Dombass gave me a strange look that turned to anger when he handed Madoff $41,114 for the bag containing the soldier's genital.
Gosh, it sure is nice to reunite that soldier with his genital before the new year.
Let's get out of here, Dombass, before anyone figures out what happened.
Okay, Gerber, where you parked?
I didn't want to be too conspicuous. Cindy D, the most famous English-speaking landline phone sex operator, took me over here in her 82 Corvette and dropped me out in front.
Hey, I'm a native New Yorker. I ain't got no wheels.
Well, let's start making some fast progress with our feet.
You're the one who does the treadmill, and all I just sit here in this parking lot at my desk ripping off them clients, eating sardines. Here, you hold this. It's gonna be hot enough for me to make it to the bus stop.
The bag dropped to the ground.
Aren't you gonna pick that up?
I don't know. If I did, there'd have to be a new storyline to this show.
It's about time.
Molly Machete retrieved the bag. She promptly delivered it to the Helms Foundation, who had put the soldier in contact with his genital as soon as possible.
Reunification, Gerber. They call it reunification. You have kids. It's like when they get picked up from school. They call it the reunification gate.
Then happy Hanukkah to all.
Happy holidays and peace on earth from the Lucky 7 Tarzana to the Lucky 7 Blythe to the Lucky 7 Kopetdag Mountains.
For black and for white, for yellow and the red one, let's all stop the fight.
Let's hope it's a good one. Without any fear, your genital will be stolen in 2020.
Man, I hope it doesn't happen to anyone else. It's a traumatic thing if that kind of a body part is taken. And luckily, we devoted 6 hours or more of this show to finding that poor soldier's genital. And it's in this brown paper bag. And I hope it's the right one. And I hope it can be reattached maybe by Dr. Goldman. I don't know. So people, yeah, this is the weirdest, strangest, funniest, most outrageous radio show on any commercial radio station. You need to get on the action. Go to the Karl Gerber with a K channel on YouTube. Catch up. I think this is is episode 89. We're going to be back next year for more of this stuff with everyone listening. So I do really hope to get a client out of this, even though the scripting is kind of weird. But your lawsuit could be scripted pretty well if you think about it. 877-525-0700 gets through to my office during normal business hours. And between now and New Year's, I will be taking new client calls myself. 877-525-0700. If you were fired for something that is just almost as bad as what Myron Alfombra Pronounced Matting but spelled M&M did to the soldier. 877-525-0700 for a real employment lawyer. 15 offices in California, member of 4 state bars. So I hope you hire me, and I hope that you have a happy new year and peace on earth and none of your body parts get stolen. This is the Karl Gerber Workplace Lawyer Show on Talk Radio 790 KABC.
And when it's dry and ready, I shall play.
Since 1993, the Employment Lawyers Group has been a consistent force in fighting for the rights of California employees. They've represented thousands of employees in cases in which they've lost their jobs, been sexually harassed, discriminated against at work, or owed wages individually or as a group such as a class action. The Employment Lawyers Group has maintained a high win rate and a serious record before the California courts. Please call 877-525-0700 for an experienced work lawyer. That's 877-525-0700. They have call takers standing by. Online, research the firm at worklawyerca.com. They have offices throughout Southern California.
This show furnished by Healthline and Dr. Bob Marshall.